Hello everybody, it's Tuesdays with Tony with Vinnie Pinella here at French Music Company, and today it's gonna be a little different. Today we're gonna talk a lot about we're gonna talk exclusively about Yamahas and the instruments and this Shokunin philosophy that Yamaha has. And we're fortunate enough today to have Ian Wudyka, and he's the rep, the Northeast District Manager. That's what he is. Perfect. And so go on.
Hello, Vin.
Hello.
How are you?
Good to see you. Yeah. So Ian's been doing this now for a couple of years.
Yeah, about a year and a half actually.
Yeah.
And I've been with Yamaha for 4.5 years.
Okay.
So it's adding up quickly.
So what did you do before?
Well, I started at Yamaha as an intern actually, out in California. Grew up in Rentham, Mass, not too far from you guys.
Yeah. You went to UMass.
Yeah, went to UMass Amherst and was in the music program there and marching band and all that fun stuff. And then I got this internship right after school out in California. So I moved up there, which was in the percussion department, marketing department.
You're a percussionist.
Yep, I'm a percussionist. Yep, so by trade, I guess.
Yeah.
I try to be, and not a drummer then.
Okay, percussionist.
Yes, and then and then I got a percussion product specialist position in California in the percussion marketing department. It's kind of like the product knowledge expert of percussion instruments.
Okay.
You know all the nuts and bolts and what people use it for, which is really interesting. It goes pretty in the weeds, so to speak.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, good.
And then I did this training role for this district manager position for about 9 months before coming back to the Northeast, and it opened up at the right time, and so now I cover all of New England, upstate New York, and eastern Pennsylvania.
All right, very good.
So a lot of driving around.
Yeah, I'm sure. I know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So so what I'd like to talk today, I'd like to have you talk today about this. First of all, is this philosophy, this pronounce it for me.
Shokunin.
I knew that.
It's an interesting one.
Yeah,
For the record,
Shokunin.
Yeah.
Shokunin, right.
Yeah.
So talk about that.
Yeah, I can talk about it a little bit. So it's really interesting. You know, it really started about almost 5 years ago. We were developing this program, and we didn't really know what it was going to be, but with feedback from dealers and educators and kind of looking at the market, it was something we wanted to come out with. So it took about 2 years in the making. There was a whole kind of committee of people that got together and said, we want to make this higher end program and dealer-based, dealer-centric for customers to have a great experience. I mean, we all know now when you walk into a store that the experience is kind of like what makes it for you.
Right,
it's not about, they have all this product, but it's about who am I talking to, what am I seeing, the layout and all that. So that really was how it started. Now the Shokunin name and how it's, people say, what does that mean? What does that mean? Brought a little cheat sheet. So and there's a nice, we actually use this quite a bit in our advertising materials. And so the Japanese word Shokunin refers to an individual who has achieved balance in providing the highest level of quality and dedication to their craft with an unwavering commitment to uplifting the lives of those around them. So what the word actually means, if you were to look it up in the dictionary, is artisan or craftsman.
Okay.
So the idea is that, like, this program, not only do you guys have a lot of inventory, that's part of it, is saying, wow, you can go and look at, 3 different flutes and look at how many different trumpets you have and really see the different levels. But the other part of that is you guys are the product knowledge experts or the craftsmen of the Yamaha branded products. So as you may know, the repair guys, they have training and they really get involved with the nuts and bolts
lots of training.
Of what that is. Yeah.
And the best in the world.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, so it makes a big difference.
Regarding the vendors, do you have to, how does that work?
Yeah. Well, there's only 18 of them in the whole country.
Oh wow!
So it's
very fortunate.
Yeah, and it's a very it was a long process to get to those 18. And if you think about that's really only one per every 5 states or 3 states or whatever in there. So it's not many that are able to do this. So it was a long process and had a lot of different reasons why people would get that. And part of that being the space, you know, and you have to dedicate this wall to the Yamaha brand, which is not an easy thing to do everywhere.
Right, right.
And this is the layout we designed, right? I mean, it was really, this is what we came up with and said, what, like it to look something like this, and David French has the clarinets, you know, in a nice humidified room, which is great.
Yeah, the clarinets are not out, but
that's okay.
They're great clarinets.
Yeah. So one of the great things about the program, though, is you have all this inventory to talk about and to look at, to try. You know, you're not just going to come in, try one trumpet, and then not really have a
and I just want to mention too that really that our techs do go out and work with the Yamaha techs who are developing things all the time, and these incredible, all these instruments are just marvelous.
Yeah.
So I love to talk about some of these instruments.
For sure, yeah.
So first of all, I'm a saxophone player, woodwind player.
Nice.
So, you know, we have these pro instruments over here with the sopranos, altos, and tenors. In the pro line, there's the Z's. These, by the way, are all Z's. And these are pro models. And then there's the EX. Now, on the soprano, I can actually take these. Did you get that one?
Oh, yeah.
I'll drop it.
Oh. There you go.
All right. Yeah. So this is an unlacquered soprano. How am I doing?
You're good.
And as you can see, it's you know, the lacquer, it's totally unlacquered. The lacquer comes off real soon, you know, and gets that. But I love the way it looks. Most young people love the way these look because they look like vintage instruments, and they play. Obviously, affects the sound. I love these myself, as far as the way they sound and the way that they vibrate. But anyway, so there's the Z, and the EX this is a lacquered EX, but the EX comes with two necks, a straight and a curved neck. But so you know, aside from that, what is Yamaha saying of the difference between the EXs?
Yeah, it's interesting because at one time, and this is often a misconceived thing where people go, oh, the Z is for jazz, you know, and the EX is for classical musicians, which that's really crossed over now. That's blended together in many ways. We often tell people, hey, try both. You know, what works better for you? What's your sound like? What feels better? And that is the best way to find your instrument. Generally speaking, the Z models, you know, not only sopranos but altos and tenors, are a little bit of a darker sound than the EX. Okay. But as you know, as a sax player, your sound can dictate what that really means.
Yeah, right.
But
and I know a lot of. I know one. I don't want to misquote. I'm not going to mention the name because I don't want to, you know, misquote. But famous jazz alto player, who was playing the Z. I understand now likes the EX.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
You know.
And some people play an EX alto, but the Z soprano, you know, or for the style of music they're playing.
I love both.
As well.
I love both of these instruments. I couldn't tell you which one I like better.
Right.
This one I think is darker, right?
Yeah.
Well,
exactly.
it would be too.
Yeah.
But
right.
Yeah.
But, and it's really, for the saxophone line, what's interesting is over the past really like 7 to 8 years, all of the models from the custom series down to the student models have been updated. You know, they've all been updated over time.
The one-piece bell on the saxophones.
Yep.
Also, another good something to think about is that these come with a varying number of necks.
Yep.
You know, larger and
right.
Yeah,
There is. Yeah. So there's.
And that's huge, and they fit unbelievable. That's what's unbelievable to me is that you can get Yamaha is so precise.
The consistency, right?
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like, you know, the Z comes with the V1 neck, but if you get the other necks, you know, you can try them out, and that's another great benefit of the Shokunin program is having different necks available to try.
Sure.
So, we've tried to standardize that to what the market and the artists have told us that they want to see on the model, but we do have other necks available.
Sure, and finishes obviously.
Yeah, so silver, the black lacquer, and then unlacquered and lacquered. So.
Yeah, and the bronze.
The bronze, that was a special, the 50th anniversary model.
They're not making those?
No, not in the regular production line. I think there was like 50 of those available.
Oh, okay. I know my friend Dino has one.
Yeah. Dino's, Gavoni?
Yeah. Dino Gavoni is a great tennis player. He just got one.
Yeah, he did.
All different, you know, levels of you know, silver and so forth.
Yeah, you know, the flutes and all of these have this great story that we always like to tell about our design philosophy, right? So we call it vertical integration. So we start really with the professional or custom level series, and then from there we design down to the professional, to the intermediate, to the standard models.
Right.
So rather than starting with the student model and then kind of like, you know, pumping it up from there with different specs, we really start from the top line, which is funny because what you'll often see is a new professional model will come out, and then, you know, 2 years later or so, the intermediates will be updated. 2 years after that, the standard or student product will be updated.
Like the student product, the student
flutes.
Now have the
pointed key arms.
Pointed key arms.
Yeah.
Which is a you know
a big selling
deal.
point. Yeah. Teachers love that for sure.
Sure.
So. And that's really cool because then it's a familiar thing. When you start with the student product, you go up to the intermediate, up to the professional. It often feels like, oh, I recognize this.
Yeah,
you know? So that's the same with all of our lines. But really, you can really see it on the flutes.
And these flutes, is this a splitting? Yeah, they have splitting.
Yeah. Yep. So starting the 5 series up.
Oh, okay. 5 series starts the splitting.
Yep.
And they're great flutes.
Yeah.
And now we get to the trumpet.
The trumpets.
Yeah, the trumpets are always, you know, being a saxophone player, it's always, you know, fascinated me that, you know, that
daunting.
Daunting. That just to change, you know, a brace, the position of a brace.
Yeah.
Or, you know,
you
know, you can talk about these.
Right. Yeah, it's really interesting. You know, trumpets. Feels like there's so many parts you can adjust that make a huge difference. You know, I mean, just changing like the placement of a screw or a cork. You know, is it's kind of amazing. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
With our, you know, Bob Malone is a big in our ateliers. We have one in New York and Los Angeles where we do really all our testing in the U.S. market, and he's kind of the trumpet, the Malone pipe, which you see on the graphic here.
Oh, okay. And what is a Malone pipe?
So that's kind of Bob's, what he designed as the lead pipe on many of the horns.
Okay.
And it's really been used for a while now, and he started it before he was actually with Yamaha, and then we've really taken it up on many of the professional line of horns.
Okay.
But you'll see like the reverse tuning slide is a common a difference that people point out. So if I can line this up here, this model will have a reverse tuning slide. So where the tuning slide or lead pipe is often called will go over the lead pipe. So you see how this is sliding over.
Right. As opposed
to like that model, where it's sliding into the lead pipe.
Right.
So that would be the kind of the standard or traditional.
Yeah.
And that's one where again you go, hey, try both of these.
These braces, look at the braces.
Yeah, the braces.
Yeah.
This is pretty hip, huh?
Yeah, it is hip.
With the different, and that's, you know, this was the 25th anniversary model. So that's kind of one of the cool features of that. But like you said, you put it in a different spot and it plays. It's a huge difference.
Right. And also on these, like here we have a Chicago model.
Mm-hmm.
These, and that was designed by
well, the two New York and Chicago models, we had John Hagstrom and David Bilger were the two big artists that were designing those with us at the time. And, you know, amongst other artists that are involved with us, we kind of pass it around quite a bit before anything actually comes out. That's you know, David Bilger in the Philadelphia Orchestra. and then John Hagstrom in Chicago area. So, and that's another one. There's slight differences. The lead pipe, the bracing, as you see here.
Yeah.
That's like you're saying.
Okay.
But all makes a small difference.
Yeah.
It's not one that's right, one that's wrong.
And Bobby Shoot, that's
his flugelhorn.
Yeah.
Yep. And you also have the trumpet there. So
great jazz player.
Great jazz player. Yeah. And that's that's another one that's often conceived as a big jazz style horn. But hey, you could use that depending on your playing, anywhere. So quite the variety. And you have the new Pizzuti model too. Which is really based off of the New York model, the Pizzuti.
Okay.
And there was only about 25 of those made too, so you got some nice.
Really? No,
yeah.
No kidding.
It was a limited run right at NAMM this year in January.
Huh.
So pretty interesting. Again, a great horn for all types of playing. Pizzuti, you can play.
I know the guys here they're knocked out by it.
Yeah.
We have a lot of trumpet players who work here. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So good. And the trombones,
Yep.
I don't know if you can get over here, but again, beautiful instruments.
Yeah. We got the Xeno trombones here.
Yeah, we have. What do we have?
Yeah.
A couple of Xenos. Yeah, we have a couple of Xenos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those are great. Great step-up horns. There's a couple different ones. Similar to the trumpets, you have the standard tuning slides in reverse and
they
all
have
that.
reverse tuning slides?
Yeah, so this one here has the reverse, and
wow.
there's also a similar model with the gold brass bell with the a standard. So, you try both of them. There's not really, and nowadays people want what they feel is best.
Yeah,
it's not,
sure. It's all about how it feels, right?
Yep, exactly. So
all right.
it's the Shokunin wall.
That's right. That's right. And so what else should we talk about?
Well,
what's new with you?
What's new with us? We're busy. We just kind of finished our big education, as part of the year. We go to the all states and MEA shows.
That's right. You just went to
the main
show with Eric and
yep. And Joe was up there.
Joe was up
Brogan,
there.
Yeah.
Joe Brogan and Mo.
And Mo was there. Yep.
A legend's Mo's a legend in Maine.
Yeah.
He works for us, and he's a wonderful guy.
He's a great rep, though.
Yeah, he's a great rep, the best.
So, that's a great show, But, so that's what we've been busy with. We really support education, when we can, and go see the teachers and meet all your fellow contacts every day. So, what's new with you, though? Anything?
Return. Well, soon. All the when the school year ends, then we get returns. We'll get the returns back, and in the summer we get ready for September. So the summer is really, really busy, and then September is busy, very busy. But so that's what we do. That's what we do. Yeah. That's our Christmas season. Christmas in September.
Nice.
So I guess that's about it.
That's great. That's great. Thanks for having me today.
Thanks for
appreciate
coming.
it.
So much knowledge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great product. We love. Oh, so June 2nd, we have a big sale here, and on Yamaha professional instruments, and generally just a sale in general. But there's a double rebate on all pro instruments from Yamaha. So it would be a $200 rebate. So, and again, any instrument that you buy here, there's a free 1-year warranty. You can have your instrument come back here. We'll give you a loaner. We'll fix your instrument. Only place to buy a Yamaha. So anyway, it looks
like we have a question for Ian.
All right.
Did you meet any cool cats while working with Yamaha?
Cool cats, huh? I'm fortunate to meet a lot of people, and it's neat being in Los Angeles because that atelier that I mentioned, like a lot of people will come through there if they're playing with the LA Phil or just in the area. There's not anyone specifically I'd point out. I think everyone's a great musician that comes through, so it's pretty neat. But there's a lot of cool cats that we have the fortune of meeting.
We had Phil Woods here a couple of years ago.
3 years ago.
Yeah, and It was just, I mean, you know, it was just a thrill to have Phil Woods
Yeah.
here, like this legendary guy. He was so cool, and you know, and he passed, unfortunately. But yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
So we had some trumpet. We had a trumpet.
Carl Fisher.
Carl Fisher.
Yeah.
Carl Fisher was here. He was great. He was great, and I'm sure we'll bring one. You know, we have a trumpet day coming up soon. I don't know.
November.
So.
Yeah. You guys had Jeff Coffin here a while.
Oh, that's right.
You guys
That's
do
right.
that?
Yeah,
Jeff
yeah.
Coffin, Jeff Connor.
Yeah.
Dino.
Oh, Dino. Yeah, Dino was here. You know, so
They're all great guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have a great facility here. Anyway, I'm going to say goodbye.
All right.
So
Thank you
goodbye.
very much.
All right, and thank
All
you
right.
so much to everybody, and we'll see you next time. Ciao.